Put on your headphones, people, because it's about to go down.
Ginoong bastos.
Hindi
kasi nasa office kami, masaya kami magkakasama niya.
Parang sa school, di ba?
Sir Joel. FEU.
Oh, di ba?
Yeah. Tamaros pala.
Yeah, that's right.
All of us are... Hindi ba attribute niyan forever useless? So, graduate, forever useless.
Okay, and we're live, folks. Again, another episode of our podcast. Sa mga bago namin listeners, I just want to say, again, bakit naging Architalks tong podcast namin? Simple lang yan because number one, two dudes, two college buddies, want to do podcast. We take architecture as a subject. COVID-19, something, got bored, something. Then there you go. We want to start a podcast and that's it. So basically our podcast, hindi naman tayo porket Archi Talks. We are not, concentrating on architecture stuff, right? Because, we're human being as well. And we just want to be, world diverse. Kung sino man yung magiging guest namin or anong topic, it doesn't matter. It's our podcast is like, parang after office hour or after your subject sa school. It's like you want to relax, right? So we are that persons. We are that people. Want to relax, want to unwind. You rant if you want to rant, it's fine. So that is our podcast. For the listeners out there, it so happened that all of us went to the same school. Yeah. Pero mas matanda nga lang si Barry.
Go Tamaraw!
Just me, no.
But still young at heart, di ba?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're part of FEU, our school, and
anong batch ka, Barry? Anong batch ka sa school natin? Anong batch ka?
Wala na ng tanungan ng batch. Ko naman Ang keteng
Ang problema nga sa atin kasi kalabaw lang daw ang tumatanda tama raw tayo. Patay tayo dyan.
Yeah. FEU siyempre, nandyan ng Hindi nyo ba alam, bibigyan ko kayo ng trivia.
Alright.
Kasi parang kadalasan ngayon, di ba, parang pag ang school mo, Ateneo, LaSalle, UST, pag doon ka graduate, parang sobrang prioritize ka. Kasi parang ang ganda ng school mo. Hindi nila, kasi pag halimbawa, graduate ka lang daw ng FEU, UE, medyo parang ang baba ng tingin sila niya. Pero hindi nila alam. Yung mostly, yung mga graduate dito, yung mga amo ng mga kumpanya na yan. Sino yung mga graduate sa atin ng mga billionaire? Bigyan ko kayo ng trivia.
Alright.
Henry C. Si Dushutan. Apat yata ang billionaire na nag-graduate yan. Sama mo ng mga kawangko si Cory.
Saan sa?
Sa FEU.
Really?
Madami mga billion. Yeah, madami mga...
Vice Ganda.
Si Vice Ganda. Tayo na, di bali na yun.
At billion. At least billion.
Alam mo kung bakit bumaksak ang ABS-CBN?
Okay.
Hinari niya si Kibuloy Si Kibuloy pati traffic sa EDSA, pinahinto niya
Again, for the folks listening right now, again, Architalks, but we don't usually talk about architecture stuff. Okay? Para sa mga student talaga, inspire na parang isip, Architalks, baka ma-inspire ako maging architecture. Yes, ma-inspire ka in a sense, yes. But we basically, like I said earlier, this podcast is like your ultimate hangout. Ika nga, hangout with your friends. It doesn't matter kung nursing siya or whatever. So that is the podcast. But anyway, man, go on. Lang yan, Kibuloy.
Yeah.
Anyway, nakita ko nga yung post na yan, yung mga video meme post na, yun nga, about natawa ko pati ABS, stop na rin.
Yeah. Yan, kaya nga na.
Yun. May interject lang. Like I said nga doon sa mga na nakikita ko yung video niya, nagko-comment nga ako, sabi ko, they should have been humble from the very beginning. Lalo na si Vice, di ba? Kasi syempre, kumbaga, masyado sila naging kumpiyansa during that time na iniisip niyo, syempre, malaking company ng ABS. So you always think na eventually you will guys, win. And I think that's what happened. Hindi ko naman sinasabi may kapangyarihan si Kibuloy, Obviously, wala. It so happened na siguro syempre, kumbaga, rin naman yun, knowledge yan, pre, kumbaga, kanya-kanyang na lang yan, na may idea na siya anong mangyari. Kasi kumbaga, kung nasa right track naman yung complaint, siguradong mananalo yung nagko-complaint, di ba? Yun lang naman yun. It so happen lang na, yun nga lang nakakatawa, parang nagiging propeta nakakatawa din.
Yeah, true.
Yun
yung kanina sinasabi ko sa inyo. Yeah, yung mga billionaire na graduate ng FEU, si Lucio Tan, Henry C. Ramon Ang, tapos si Cory Aquino. So, FEU is not just some mere school. Yeah, we have our fair share of
Billionaires.
well-known people.
Yeah.
Imagine mo, sila yung mga amo ng mga di ba?
Yeah.
Saan pa
Mga
sila?
Alasal.
Lalo tayo, hindi tayo naging amo eh.
Nga lang. Di kasi alam mo, totoo lang speaking of, naghahanap din ako ng job when I was young. And I always hear na, yung nga sinasabi nila, kapag ka-graduate ka ng FU, ikaw yung tipong taga-CAD, taga-gawa ng, mostly
Early draftsman.
Yung mga work, drawing jobs, ikaw na yung draftsman, ikaw na yung taga-print, ikaw lahat. Pero pag sinabi mong graduate ka ng UST or other school like LaSalle maybe.
UP.
Yeah. Ikaw
Saan ka
yung
pa nag-graduate,
most likely taga-design. Taga-design or ikaw yung idea, stuff like that,
FEU ka rin, Mau?
Yeah.
Yes.
Schoolmate.
Wow, tayo.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow,
tayo
tama raw
dito.
talaga.
Yeah. We're through and through, man.
Pwede tayo magtuhugan.
Oh, shit. Yeah. See? Humor. Like I said, yan ang sinasabi ko sa'yo. Humor ni Ma and humor ni Barry is the same. When I was working in that previous company, I'm telling you, your humor is the same with Mau. Kaya yung time na mag-office tayo, naalala ko ikaw, Mau. Pagkakausap ko lagi si Barry.
Puro kalokohan.
Yes. Yung mga humor nyo na sometimes parang sobrang cringy na nakakatawa. Ooh, shit.
Akala mo seryoso yung pala nagjo-joke na.
That's right. Unang dating ni Barry's office, I remember, guys, when Barry first came into the office and for the interview, I think I was a bit intimidated kasi laking tao tsaka kumbaga pa nagsalita talagang may dating, well diverse. After that, pag nagkatabi na kami lang yan, kalokohan na pinag-uusapan namin. Pero sandali lang tayo naging
mag-office. I remember those days. Saglit lang.
Saglit lang tayo naging mag-office. That's what I remember. So
parang nag-sideline lang ako sa inyo.
Yeah. Kaya naalala ko nun, I don't think na naabutan mo pa yung sinasabi ko intern Yung sa last podcast namin. Kasi may nag-uusapan kami, I think it's
sino intern na naman yan? Sino intern na naman yan?
Chicks?
Hindi, lalaki. Yung intern. Yung inayos yung...
just me.
Yung inayos yung PC ng boss natin. Then after that, sabi ni Sir...
Sir Joel.
Bibleep na.
Ha?
Biblip namin yung
okay
name kasi ayaw namin bagitin yung name
Okay lang yun.
Okay.
Marami naman Joel.
Okay, never mind. Okay. The point is, yung sabi ko nun, I think, hindi ko alam kung office mate na kita or wala ka na nun sa office. Yung tipong pinaayos yung PC niya kasi hindi niya mabuksan. Tapos yung nabuksan na, ang sinabi niya, guys, by the way, may mga porno dyan sa PC ko, kopihin nyo na lang. So, I don't know kung nadudong ko pa nun.
Yes yun, porn.
So, I don't know if that time is umalis ka na sa office or magka-office mate pa tayo.
Wala na siguro ka nun. Baka wala ka nun.
Because I vaguely remember nun, kasi kaya hindi kita ganong ma-recall yung mga pinagsama natin sa office. Kasi pagkakaalam ko, saglit lang kita naging ka-office mate But after that, we stay in contact naman.
Yeah. Nagkikita pa tayo minsan, di ba? Kasama si Ninya.
So, kumusta ka na ngayon sa Pinas? How are things? Busy ka sa mga site, Nakita ko yung picture mo, may kabayo pa Ano ba project mo?
The other day yun. Ano lang yun, parang day trip lang yun dito sa may Tanay Rizal. Yung Mortisim, alam niyo yung Sea of Clouds? Do you know that?
Nope.
Ang ganda doon pag mostly pumupunta doon madaling araw to watch the sunrise. Are you familiar with Sea of Clouds? Halimbawa, yung mga tipong nakikita mo sa Mount Pulag, pagpunta ka ng sa may, tawag dito, way up north.
Ang alam ko lang, Palace in the Sky.
Dito sa atin, ang pinaka-nearest na kung gusto mo na mas nearest pa sa Tagaytay na malamig, especially pag madali araw, if you want to witness yung Sea of Clouds, diyan sa Tanay Rizal. Meron doon lugar, ang pangalan niya, Mortisim. Para siyang resort, restaurant, you can just go in. Tapos, people just go in there to watch the sunrise. Yung tinatawag nila Sea of Clouds during morning. You can search it sa YouTube.
Sea of Clouds. That's new.
Yeah. Ang ganda dun. Pag nakita mo, madami mga mag-jowa balls na pumupunta dun. So, pumunta lang kami dun. Pero for me, I was an OFW from 2012 to 2017. Tulad niyo. Nag-work din ako sa Singapore. Tawag dito, British company pinasukan ko. Pero yung nagkaroon ng recession during that time, 2016, 2017, I lost my work. Then I decided na lang na umuwi. Although that time, nag-travel pa ako sa US sa airpot ko to have a job there. Pero hindi rin ako nakakuha. Ayoko naman mag-TNT. So, I decided na lang na umuwi dito and yun, self-practice ako. Actually, mas maganda dito sa atin eh. If you'll be able to establish sarili mong market dito. And mostly mga projects ko are like, madami ako offices, mga interior renovations, condo. Actually, mas
Kasi
madaming
Yun ang boom ngayon interior, no?
Yeah, I mean,
mga condo.
Kasi kung medyo ang dami ng mga, alam mo na yun, siyempre, ang dami nating mga archi, kalaban din natin ng mga engineers sa mga projects. You could acquire yung mga project ng mga interior. Kasi yung interior, you don't need to make start from scratch any office or any house na pwede i-renovate. Yun, yung interior mo lang. So,
diba parang,
actually, madaming trabaho sa interior.
Di ba mayroong interior designer? Ano yung kalaban din ba natin sila or going to...
Actually, sila naman talaga yan, supposedly.
Sila
pero
talaga
kasi ang archi kasi, tawag dito, yung practice natin, hindi naman sa sinasaklawan natin sila. Pero kaya natin mag-interior since ang interior kasi nag-branch out lang yung from architecture.
Yes. True.
Yeah.
True. Kasi if I remember correctly, even dun sa school, ano subject to, sinasabi ng mga professor, nung araw talaga, architect lang talaga and engineer ang meron tayo. But since na dumadami ng architecture, since na nagkakaroon ng mga specialization, ayan na, nagkaroon na tayo ng mga urban designer, urban planner, interior designer, And dati, kumbaga, saklaw na natin yung lahat eh. Kasi ngayon, dumarami na talaga eh. So, kumbaga, parang binanatch out.
Parang doktor.
Yeah, kanya-kanya specialty na lang yan. Di ba?
Hindi, ganun yan. Di ba, pag if you're a graduate of medicine, general medicine ka pa. Then, para mag-specialization ka. Ganun din sa atin. Merong urban architect, landscape architecture, may interior. Merong nga mga bansa, architectural engineering eh.
Wow, that's new.
Yung hindi na siya new, actually.
I mean, new to me.
May mga ino-offer niyan sa Australia, alam ko sa States. Meron nga tawag sa kanila, architectural technologies eh.
So, I'm sure ito yung mga taong gumagamit na ng mga more than CAD. I presume mga Revit.
Yeah.
You know?
Hindi, iba ang basta pag sinabi mo architectural technologies, parang kumbaga I think more katulad sa engineering, yung materials engineering. 'Di ba meron ng subject na materials engineering. Sa atin, meron ng architectural technologies. Yun nasa Singapore ako, may mga ka-office mate ako ng mga Briton. Ang title na architectural technologies. Wow. Yun ang specialization
so
nila.
So it's like architecture and science at the same time, more or less.
Yung BIM naman kasi, you can take it, anyone can take it. I mean, sa atin dito, you can just study yung BIM, or rather, yung Revit. Not necessarily na nag-study ka ng Revit, bihasa ka na sa BIM. Kasi ang BIM, in its entirety, kasi it's more on like a management and a process. Using, ang Revit lang kasi is a tool. Then, yun bumuwi ako dito. Kasi yung nagbago ko umuwi from Singapore, parang beginner lang ako sa Revit that time, self-practice lang. Madami nagkakatrabaho na, mawala ka kung nagkakad ka lang. Parang medyo, tawag dito, medyo nasa medyo pag ang nakatapat mo, naghahanap ka ng trabaho ay nagre-Revit, mas advantage sila. So, when I went home dito, inaral ko yung lahat ng Revit. Kasi 4 na klase ang Revit. Yung architecture, MEP, structural, tsaka tawag dito, Naviswork. So, pag nag-aral ka nun, ang ganda lang kasi dito sa atin, mura lang mag-take sa MicroCAD. Imagine mo, bago pa ako pumunta dyan, ang tuition fee nila nagre-range lang sa mga 5,000 plus. Hanggang ngayon yung umuwi ako, ganun pa rin sila. It's a good thing na ang MicroCAD hindi nagtataas. Yun ang I really admire sa MicroCAD. Kahit ang school lang nila, tawag dito, hindi naman sila sobrang first class. Pero mababa ang rate nila.
Nating masabi
ang mahal mag-aral ng Revit sa nasa Singapore ako, para makapag-aral ka ng Revit architecture, siguro abutin ka ng 1,500 SGD. So parang 100,000 mahigit. Dito 5,000 lang.
Alright.
So inaral ko lahat siya. Yung inaral ko yung buong 4 na yon sa MicroCAD. Tawag dito, although mostly naman na mapapractice mo lang talaga Archi. Although masarap aralin yung iba, yung katulad ng Struct, tsaka yung Naviswork, maganda yun. Kasi it compiles all the discipline into one software, yung Navisworks. So, in the same time, familiar ba kayo? Mga Revit guys ba kayo?
No. But we
No.
we
More on
studied
3D graphics kayo, no?
No. We're doing CAD and ArchiCAD. Pero ArchiCAD not that much. Kasi hindi pa gaano i-implement sa Macau. Pero our company is trying to implement that one because in future use.
Yeah.
Kasi ang ArchiCAD, Australian-based siya, alam ko eh. Yeah, doon nag-origin. Ang kalaban nila ang Autodesk, which is US. Which is bumili ng halos lahat yata binili nila.
Yeah, I remember.
Diba, yung mga
actually,
3ds
I remember
Max.
during that time, nung pa lang, bagong graduate ako, I remember Magna CAD ako noon, and I studied ArcVist. And I remember during that time, yung ArcVist, for me, it's like a 3D Studio Vist. Nalala ko that was...
Studio Vist, yeah.
Yeah, Studio Vist doon ako nagluwa nung time na yun eh. Kasi dati, di ba, Studio Vist is created by Autodesk, right? And then eventually, there's another program, Max. 3D Max. 3ds Max is actually developed by a different company back then. It's Discrete. I think that was the name. Because every time na in-startup ko yung 3D Max, hindi lumalabas. Tapos eventually, hanggang sa naging 3D Studio Max. So which is, binili nga ng Autodesk. Same with Maya. Binili rin ng Autodesk yung Maya eh. Kasi Maya, I remember, it's a different program developed by a different company. But eventually, binili ng Autodesk. So, Autodesk talaga maraming pera. In other words, talagang
daming pera sila.
Sobrang talagang yaman.
Nakakarami ng MicroCAD sa Magna CAD sa atin, nakakarami na sponsor nakakarami na sila.
Pero at least...
pero yun lang, it's a good thing, halos yung when I went here, well, alam nyo naman na when you're in abroad, the more na software na alam nyo gamitin, the more mas competitive kayo. Diba? Diba? Maghahanap kayo ng work. Kung ako alam ko 10 software, kalaban ko 1-2 lang, mas advantage ka. Kasi especially when I worked doon sa pinagtatrabaho ko, dapat medyo multitask ka. So kailangan marunong ka that time kasi parang hindi lang isa yung ginagawa ko. So, there are times na you really need to be well-versed in a lot of Adobe application, di ba? So, including yung mga, hindi lang yung Photoshop, yung mga, minsan, yung Illustrator, gamit ka ng mga InDesign, ganun, paggagawa ka ng mga presentation. Tapos, aside from SketchUp, basic na SketchUp, Revit, etc. Yun. So, I advise siguro to sa mga architecture student or rather yung mga graduate na or professional ka dito, gusto mo mag-abroad, if you really want to have more edge in applying or working abroad, go for BIM. Go study yung Revit.
BIM is because
that's the future of architecture.
Yeah, hindi pa naman lahat ginagamit yung BIM, pero yun nga, in terms of advantage talaga pag marunong ka mag-BIM.
Yeah.
Because now sa office namin hindi pa kasi gaano ginagamit, kaya mahirap pang gamitin kasi kumbaga ang main na pinapasa din namin is CAD drawing.
CAD. So, CAD.
So kumbaga hindi pa namin magamit yung BIM talaga. So I mean, yes, we did learn how to use ArchiCAD. Don't get me wrong. We did learn how to use it. Pero syempre kumbaga ang laging ko pino-point out doon, if we're ever going to use that ArchiCAD sa office, dapat kunyari, sabihin natin yung main branch ng office namin sa Hong Kong, ginagamit yung ArchiCAD. Dapat may pupunta na taga Hong Kong at talaga ituturo sa amin how do they do their filing. Because syempre, it's different. When you say, can you use it? Of course, based do sa lynda.com na pinapanood namin para, to learn that program. Yes, we can do it. But of course, the problem is now, kanya-kanyang style. Kasi hindi ko alam kung anong style lang gagawin mo sa style lang gagawin ko, di ba? So dapat may magtuturo
depende
talaga.
Depende ka ng favorite mong style.
Kasi kumbaga iba yung pagka-CAD, it's fine kasi CAD is CAD, 'di ba?
Basic talaga CAD.
Mabilis sakyan eh. Pero syempre pagka you're talking about 3D, ibang usapan syempre baka may ginawa ka dun sa 3D file mo, the way you file that particular project na okay, ito lang babaguhin ko and automatic babago ng iba or stuff like that. Syempre kung hindi alam ng isang tao na yun, baka may ma-disrupt siya doon sa file mo na masisira yung buong project file, So yun ang kailangan mo sa mga ganung klaseng mga program. You need to have someone in the firm, or like for us, like I said, we are a branch of the main firm sa Hong Kong. So they need to send
yeah.
someone to actually teach us or guide us na, okay, ikaw magiging manager ka ng particular na, kunya, ito yung project mo. So ikaw yung magiging pinaka head manager ng program na to, ng ArchiCAD. So ikaw yung mag-manage kung sinong gagawa ng sino or sinong gagawa ng part ng building or whatever. Then how would you do it? Oh, this is how you do it, right? Kasi syempre kumbaga now it's a 3D file. And then there are moments na kailangan sabay-sabay kayo mag-edit. So how would you edit something na 3D file? Eh baka ginagawa ko to, gagawin din isa parang ano lang kumbaga nagdoble lang yung trabaho, 'di ba? So dapat
Are you talking about pag gumagamit na ng BAM?
Yeah. Kasi alam ko ganun yung
pag gumagamit ka ng BAM, meron tinatawag kasing sharing din sa BAM.
Yeah, I know that.
Meron kayong central file, tapos you may tinatawag na mga work set o mga work group. Mm-hmm. So kung ilan kayo, naka-cloud kayo, doon nila tinasave doon sa cloud niyo, sa office niyo. Automatic naman yun.
Yeah.
Tapos basta may process doon wherein kapag may inedit ka, malalaman ng ibang mga nakalink doon sa file na yon yung yung sino yung gumalaw, ganun. Mag-a-add ka mag-a-ask ka ng permission.
Yes, I know.
Ako since 2017 I've been using nag-upgrade na talaga ako sa Revit for most of my project. Even interior, mga interior works. So, ang mahirap lang talaga sa Revit, yung parametric model. Kasi pag gumawa ka ng parametric model, example, nagawa ka ng doors, yung pa talaga yung mga hindi ko pa na-master. Pero yung basic na model in component, model in place, marunong ako. Pero pag gumawa ka ng mga parametric na mga 3D model, pag gagawa ka lang ng pinto, can take you 1 day, ganun katagal.
Yes.
So, for me, parang hindi na siya advisable na ganun. So, usually, pupunta na lang ako sa Revit City, pupunta ako sa mga 3D na pwede ako mag-download na similar.
Yes.
O di kaya naman, i-customize ko na lang sa CAD yung mga details.
That's true. Kasi those are the things that, like I said, when you're working in a bigger company, and then like I said, if your boss doesn't have any idea or any clue kung paano gamitin yung program yun, they always think that it's fast, which is it's not. Sometimes it will take you days to do something, So yun lang ang downside eh. Not unless if you're doing your own project.
Pwedeng hybrid. Pwedeng mix. Yeah, pwedeng mix. You could do yung mga intricate na masyado, gawin mo na sa CAD. Then lagay mo na. Maganda lang kasi sa Revit is yung when you organize all the files, all the drawings, nasa isang file lang. Hindi tulad ng CAD na hiwa-hiwalay. Kasi nandun na rin yung sheet set niya.
Yes.
When you do the drawings, kaya mabilis.
I think Revit.
Basta for me, ang bilis ng drawing sa Revit. As in, ginagawa mo pa lang yung plan, you're already doing the elevation. So parang more likely na-set up mo na. Pag ginawa mo yung plan niya, automatic na yung elevation, yung section, yung gagawin mo, pupunta ka na lang doon sa mga views na yun. Yan, wala. Tapos set up mo na lang sa sheet set mo.
Yeah,
kaya napakabilis ng Revit.
Yeah, I think it's same with ArchiCAD. Pero yung isang office mate ko nga, he was saying that, bakit, why is it that our companies use ArchiCAD? Actually, Revit is much better.
Yeah.
Because I think ArchiCAD is a bit limited in terms of, for certain things that you will do in a certain project. I think, kumbaga, yung Revit is more flexible, ika nga, kaysa doon sa ArchiCAD.
Yeah. Since nasanay na kasi tayo sa mga Autodesk application, for me kasi parang mas gamay na natin yung mga Autodesk applications. For instance, we're like using AutoCAD, 3ds Max, ganyan. So, for me, mas comfortable doon. Depende depende kung saan, if you're planning to migrate to Australia, New Zealand, kailangan mag-adapt ka sa ArchiCAD. But if US ka or any part of, majority pa rin talaga is Revit, Revit, Autodesk Revit.
Yeah, you heard it, guys. Dapat talaga Revit talaga tayo. I think,
mas bias ako sa
but don't get me wrong, talaga I think talaga Revit talaga is much okay. It's just that because I think yung license ng ArchiCAD is much more cheaper than Revit, kaya yun ang kinuha ng company.
I think so. Yeah. Pero mostly na kasi na ngayon ng hindi ka nabibili ng more on subscription na siya.
Yeah.
Ang mga Autodesk products, hindi na tulad dati na bebenta ka ng sa peso, yung yung AutoCAD would cost you 350,000, mga ganun.
Yeah, I remember the first time that I learned na kung magkano yung isang file, magkano isang CD ng original na Autodesk product. I was like, holy shit. Samantalang dati, no student tayo sa FEU, we just take it for granted, di ba?
May pirated naman eh.
Pasalamat na lang tayo kay Pirates Bay.
Kaya nga.
50 pesos eh.
Aminin natin, kung wala si Pirates Bay, hindi tayo matututo ng mga yun.
Of course.
Sino ba makakapag-afford?
Yeah. It's
Baka mamaya
or
nandyan
pwede din naman, actually, pwede ka naman kumuha ng original.
Although may student version.
Yes,
I
student
would say
version.
na,
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Pero I think student version is quite different, and I think you need to prove first na student ka talaga. Kasi there's a lot of things you need to file before you registered as a student version.
Hindi naman eh.
Diba? I haven't tried it. I
Kahit
just imagine
ngayon, kahit professional, you can download. Kahit ngayon, alam ko, kahit basta subscription na sila ngayon. Tingin ko kasi baka humina yung sales nila. Wala namang ganong bumibili talaga ng ano. So, ginawa nila by subscription na lang. Yeah.
So overall, Barry, you're doing good naman dyan sa Pinas. I mean, aside from, project and shit, you're okay health-wise? Nothing much happening?
So far, so good. Wala akong COVID.
Paano nga pala yun?
Di ba dapat naka-face mask tayo tatlo, di ba?
That's fine. Fuck face mask. Nasa bahay ka naman eh. Pero I mean, kumbaga,
maganda lang pag naka-face mask ka, parang feeling mo si Naruto Shippuden ka. No?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yung nagka-face mask ka, lahat tayo ninja eh. So anyway, in terms of like, for example, pag visit ka na site, hindi ba mahirap na pumunta ka from one city to another city nowadays sa Pinas? May mga certain restriction ba?
Meron akong method, nag-instant transmission akong gano'n. Go pa rin, cartons eh.
I would say, Mau and Barry is the same person.
Hindi, yun nasa GCQ naman ngayon. So, medyo open ngayon. Kaya napunta nga ako na resulta na other day. Wala naman checkpoint so far. Kumbaga, depende sa site mo. Pero pag lumabas ka ng NCR, I think, at ang napuntahan mo, naka-ECQ sila, ayun, hindi ka makakapunta talaga doon.
That's the problem. Kumbaga, paano yun?
Pero majority
Ikaw muna, Mau.
Majority ng project mo is nasa within Metro Manila.
For now, yeah. Pero basta may mga niluto ko ibang projects na medyo out of town din. Medyo may involve ako sa mga paggawa ng mga cell sites ng third telco. So hindi naman siya Archie project, pero basta medyo may mga group of contractors akong kasama doon.
So ano yung mga 5G? Mga 5G ba yun?
I think so. Mostly kasi
yun ay may conspiracy dyan, di ba? Kaya may COVID.
Nga. Insider ako.
Part ka pala na kusisik, pala eh.
Kaya nga,
i-expose ko sa inyo kung ano nangyayari dun.
Di ko alam eh.
Hinahanda na yata. Hinahanda yata nila natin yung 5G para pag dumating yung mga aliens.
Yun nga eh. Yeah, because yun nga, ang narinig ko, nakikita ko mga na maraming nagsasabi na because of 5G, kaya daw may coronavirus. Inis ko, kinalaman ng 5G sa coronavirus? Is there any connection?
Well, ewan ko, ganito. Malalim kasi ang research with regards with yung mga, pag sinimulan ko sa inyo ito, baka
sige lang, go on. Stoner talk.
Masyado madami akong kwento din. Okay, ganito. Yung 5G, tapos yung tinatawag kasi, narinig nyo na yung Tesla na Starlink?
No.
Yung familiar kayo kay Elon Musk?
Of course, Elon Musk.
Yes. Okay, Elon Musk. Okay. Sila naman, ang version naman nila yan, as magpapalipad sila ng mga satellite. Madami na silang pinalipad na satellite sa outer space.
So far,
alam ko, if I can recall, around 12,000 ang kailangan nila to establish yung tinatawag na Starlink. Ang mangyayari niyan, yung internet connection natin, kasi for now, dalawa yata ang method na ginagamit nila. One is yung cable sa ilalim ng tubig. Diba sa dagat, pinapatakbon din. Tsaka satellite.
Mm-hmm.
Yung satellite, tsaka yung mga cell site na sinasabi. Yung satellite, as for now, ang dami kasi mga dead spot pa, di ba? So, ang isa sa mga objective nila Elon Musk is to populate ng madaming satellite yung outer space, yung immediate atmosphere, so that yung internet connection natin is much faster. Yung 5G, ang concept naman niya, mas mataas yung hertz na ini-emit niya.
Mm-hmm.
Pero kailangan madaming 5G satellite kasi yung radius ng signal na sini-scope niya is mas malapit kumpara do sa 4G. 4G satellites. Yung 4G satellite, mas mataas sila, mas malayo ang radius na inaabot ng transmission ng signal niya. Pero ang 5G, kailangan niya ng madami. kasi mas malakas yung ini-emit niyang transmission na signal. So parang kumbaga kung ang 4G ngayon, ano bang pinakamabilis na internet connection ngayon? 100 GB?
Diba?
Tama?
I don't know. I haven't tried my internet connection. Pero
100?
more or less is something like that.
Yung mga ino-offer, di ba? Ano ba, PLD dito, meron ino-offer silang 30, may 40, may 50, walang 40, 30, 50 Mbps, may 100 Mbps na. Pang mga corporation siguro yun kung gusto mo mabilis ka talaga. So I would say na siguro yung 5G, baka kaya nyo ng mga 1 tera. Kasi yun talagang no interruption yun. Ang purpose kasi ng 5G is to boost talaga sobrang, halimbawa yung mga 4K, mga TV natin, di ba?
Mm-hmm.
So kung halimbawa live yung broadcast, kailangan medyo mabilis yung internet connection mo. Kasi sooner, ang buong mundo natin will be controlled by itong mga technology na ngayon. Mayroong gusto na maglabas pati 6G, di ba? 5G, 6G. Ngayon, ako kasi Christian ako. So I study yung end time prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
Book based sa Book of Revelation. Okay?
Alright.
Ang mga research ko would go from the tinatawag na mga New World Order hanggang do sa mga alien conspiracy. Bibigyan ko na kayo ng idea. Alien, mga so-called na extraterrestrial. Kasi hindi man na siya madidinay. Halos lahat ng tao ngayon may mga cam phone na.
Yep,
So,
that's true.
Yung sightings, mas madali na nakikita ng tao ngayon because of technology.
Yes.
Mas madali makapag-usap-usap ang tao ngayon, makapag-exchange ng mga information, ganyan. Although madami pa ring fake, okay?
Right.
Pero it only takes one white na crow to prove na merong white crow among the blacks. Kasi usually, di ba, black. Ibig sabihin, it only takes 1% to prove na merong they really do exist. Pero ang question, who are they? If God only created man and angels, who are they? Basically, sila yung mga fallen angel. They are demonic entity posing to be the creator of mankind. Kasi meron tinatawag na, ang sabi nila, itong mga alien. Ba, nanonood ka ng Ancient Alien, coming from a secular perspective, ang pinopromote nila doon kasi is panspermia.
Mm-hmm.
Narinig niyo na yung panspermia?
Yeah, I heard that word. But go on.
Hindi tungkol sa spermia. Basically, ang theory kasi madaming theory sila. Meron yung multiverse, meron tinatawag na panspermia, na yung mga alien beings daw pumunta daw sa planet Earth, nag-seed daw sila sila daw ang naging creator natin.
Yeah,
kung napalad niyo yung
mga Anunnakis.
Yes, mga Anunnakis. Kung napalad niyo yung Prometheus,
I haven't watched the Prometheus. But yes, I heard it's similar nga yung story about Anunnakis eh. Yung about sa Prometheus na kumbaga yung shinare niya yung kanyang DNA to make human beings. But I haven't watched the movie yet. I haven't watched the movie.
Yeah, I urge you to watch it. Pero ibig sabihin ko lang yung Anunnaki kasi nanggaling siya sa ancient Sumeria. Oldest civilization kasi ang ancient Sumeria. Oldest civilization in a sense na after yung tinatawag na Great Flood of Noah. Naniniwala ba kayong bumaha dati?
Personally, for me, it's like this. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you believe or not. Pero kumbaga, like when we were kids, right? For example, for me, I go to my province, Cebu, and then you go to the mountain side, right? So akit ka ng bundok. Magkataka ka. Ako personally, yung nandoon ako sa bundok, sabi ko, bakit ganito yung stone dito? At the first place, yung stone doon sa bundok, it's like parang coral reef sa dagat. Tapos may makikita ka pa mga relics ng mga seashell. So iniisip ko, it doesn't matter if you believe the story of Bible or not. It means that it really happened in history of humankind. Kasi kung bakit, paano mo explain? Paano mo explain bakit may mga seashells sa taas ng bundok? Bundok nga, layo-layo mo sa sea level eh. Diba? It's either talaga nagkaroon ng Great Flood or sabihin natin, okay, omit mo yung Great Flood. Sabihin natin, nagkaroon ng earthquake, massive tectonic plates, movement of the land and shit, and some of them rise, some of them fall. So maybe that part of the mountain is, for some reason, in human history, it's underneath the water. Right? Posibleng ganon. But malayo, pero posible. Pero posible din nga yung sinasabi nating the Great Flood. I think yung Great Flood, it doesn't happen once. Maybe more than once na nangyaring Great Flood. Who knows? We don't know.
Okay. I will share yung tinatawag na biblical perspective. Tawag dito nangyari ang Great Flood kasi noong time ni Noah.
Yes.
Okay, yung explain ko sa inyo. So, if you read the book of Genesis, no, Genesis 6, and the sons of God came down to earth and saw that the daughters of men were beautiful, and they took them as wives. And then from there, they nagbore sila ng tinatawag, nagkaroon sila ng mga offspring. Ang tawag sa mga offspring na ngayon, mga Nephilim. Ang Nephilim kasi is a word for, it's a Hebrew word for, it means literally to fall.
Angel, right?
Yung Greek, no. So, I mean, yung Greek word ng Nephilim is giants, no? Gigantos. Kasi they are giant. Kasi yung time ni Noah, actually, mga giant naman talaga mga tao that time. I will explain. Yung create ni God ang mundo, meron tinatawag na firmament of water. Nababalutan ng thick layer of water ang earth. Kasi yung create ni God ang mundo, perfect ang atmosphere natin. Kumbaga, maganda ang atmosphere natin. Kaya, the reason why meron firmament, kung babasahin nyo ang book of Genesis, yung flood ni Noah, ang sabi dito, and the fountains of the deep open, yung bago bumaha, no? And the windows of heaven, yung nag-pour out yung water from the windows of heaven. Kumbaga, nasira yung firmament of na bumabalot. Ito yung tinatawag na water canopy theory ng mga Christian scientists. Based do sa Bible, do sa explanation sa Bible, yung water canopy na to, para siya, it acts like a greenhouse effect sa Earth, yung buong Earth, controlled atmosphere. Ang atmosphere kasi natin dati is roughly around 70, baligtad siya kasi ngayon 30% ng atmosphere natin is tawag dito oxygen. 70% is carbon dioxide and the rest mo, carbon monoxide, etc. Pero during the time of Adam and Eve, when God created Adam and Eve, yung mga first na tao, possible na since narinig nyo na yung concept ng hyperbaric chamber.
I heard it.
Yung mga athlete na nagaganon, nasa isang chamber sila, pinifill ng oxygen yung chamber na yun. Tapos basta yung mga free radicals lahat sa katawan natin, ginagamot niya, lahat ng mga chemical, lahat ng mga toxic. Kumbaga, very rich field na chamber siya. That's the same effect in time ni God. Create niya ang buong earth. So perfect that time. Kaso nag-fall ang man into sin, kaya nasira. Kaya sabi ni God sa Genesis, curse the ground. Sabi niya, yung kinurse niya yung ground, kailangan na ni Adam and Eve na mag-till ng lupa. Pero yung from their time hanggang sa time ni Noah, possible yung mga legend ng Atlantis, kung narinig niyo na yung Lemuria, narinig niyo na mga yan. Okay, possible na yung mga dinidescribe nila Plato, nila Aristotle, yung mga Greek philosopher at that time is totoo. Kasi possible that time may mga record sila, mga ancient record na nakuha nila, na dala-dala pa nila Noah. May mga ancient writings, so ancient books na ang pangalan tulad ng Book of Enoch. Narinig niyo na si Enoch.
Yes.
Okay, si Enoch is one of the prophets of God. Seventh, I think he's seventh from Adam. Very informative ang Enoch na libro, although hindi siya na-canonize as part of the Bible, pero pwede mo siyang i-take as a historical book. Kasi even si Jude, yung bago mag-Book of Revelation, kinote niya, nag-quote siya from the Book of Enoch. He describes yung mga angels who went down to earth na nakisalamuha sa mga tao, and they teach mankind yung art of warfare, astrology, magic, siguro, ganon, metallurgy, and other heavenly wisdom na pinagbabawal ni God na ituro sa tao.
Pero I mean, may question lang ako kasi in regards of that, like ancient alien and whatever, yung mga, no, it's fine. I actually find it fascinating as well. Pero kumbaga sa akin kasi, naisip ko noon time na yun, it's either, before I even watched that TV show, Ancient Alien, and I was imagining when I was younger, na nag-cross ito sa isipan ko what if yung mga alien na yan is actually us, na natutulong tayo mag-time travel, then we travel back in time to teach them our ways. Yun naisip ko That's number 2. Aside from that, I was thinking, remember when people take drugs, right? Like hallucinogen drugs or whatever, those things, diba sinasabi natin nag-hallucinate ka kasi high ka. Or what if na hindi ka naman talaga high, pero yung higher part ng consciousness mo, all of a sudden, because of those drugs that you take, like what are the drugs? Like DMT drugs and other type na expanding your consciousness. What if may a certain type of signal na hindi natin alam, but if we take those drugs, it will just open your mind up, and then you will see things na nandoon na pala na hindi natin alam. Kumbaga, it's another way of like communicating. Like for example, like mushroom. Diba ang mushroom pwede din naman ang galing sa mga asteroid. I think mushroom is because mushroom they just sprout in a different location, different climate, right? So what if ang mushroom is nanggaling sa outer space and yun na pala yung kumbaga that certain thing kaya tayo na high. Some mushroom are na diba high on mushroom. What if those mushroom are like food from outer space or like a elements from outer space that we start eating, and then eventually you will hallucinate, right? Because may mga religion din naman na they do take drugs. Like for example, sabihin natin yung mga Native American, yung mga Indian, they do take drugs, right? They smoke it.
They smoke pipe.
They smoke pipe. And then
may balita ako
may
balita ako nabasa ko lang kahapon yung marijuana daw gamot daw sa COVID-19. Yay!
Legalize that.
Legalize na yan! And then, palalain pa natin yung sinasabi mo. Palalain pa natin sinasabi mo, Mark. What if we're like living in a simulation? What if we're living in a matrix? Ha? Paano kung hindi talaga tayo nag-uusap dito?
Yeah.
Diba? Parang it's a computer program.
Yeah. What if nga?
Naka-program pala tayo mag-usap.
Kasi kumbaga...
Parang merong glitch sa matrix.
Kasi ba yung sinasabi natin yung mga deja vu? Diba? I mean, of course yung ganung concept, naging popularized lang naman yung concept na because of the movie Matrix. Pero I think even yung mga physicists, they are already talking about that, right? It's either multiverse, hollow earth, or yung code. Kasi alam ko may isang scientist na nakadiscover sa halaman sa mga plant, na-discover niya there's the computer code embedded sa plant. So I don't know how did they manage to discover it, but they said it's there, right? So there's a lot of things na sometimes you would think na okay, if this whole thing is a simulation, and then let's say we're just living a simulation, so that means when we wake up after we die, sabihin natin patay ka na. So afterlife. So meaning afterlife, yung makikita mo yung actual na kumbaga hindi, it's not even heaven or hell, but it's the reality of life. if we're living in a simulation, if everything that we do right now is all program, it's like
ano lang tayo, para tayong computer game. Alam niyo ba yung Rick and Morty na cartoons? Merong isa doon na parang nagkaroon na siya ng lifespan, tapos namatay na yung character niya. Para lang pala siyang isa siyang nasa computer game o video game. Kapag gising niya.
Ang sarap siguro parang Jumanji tayo, pag namatay ka, bigla ka lang babaksak sa ere, no?
Again for the listeners who listening to us right now, I know we're Architalk, but this is how we chat. We're not always like concentrated on Architalk. I mean, architectural stuff. I mean, yes, you will learn something, but today's episode is a stoner episode, man. If we're smoking weed, this episode would be 10 times cooler, but we're not. We're not even drunk. We're just talking about stuff. And this is good.
Yeah. Yan. Bali, if I continue,
go on, man.
Yung narrative,
Sure.
yung narrative ko. Kasi na-inspire ako kasi kausap kita, Chakulos
Sukalos, man. What's up?
Parang feeling ko na in-interview ko sa Ancient Alien.
For the listeners, for the listeners, because my friend here is an avid fan of the Ancient Alien, and because I never even cut my hair, I never even fix myself. So my hair, for some reason, it's similar to what is the name?
Giorgio Chakulos.
Giorgio Sukalos hair, so I have that wavy Einstein hair of a I don't know. So anyway, that's how I look right now. So Barry, go on.
Alright, so babalik tayo sa narrative, yung Book of Enoch. So may mga angels na nakipagsalamuha sa tao. Well, ganito. Let's start from the beginning. There was merong nagkaroon ng reveal. God, there's only like two major creations si God, man and angel. I don't know if you guys are an atheist or if you're a Christian or somehow you're like an agnostic. I don't know your religious background, pero God created everything. There's only one universe. Yung multiverse is a promotion ng mga tinatawag na mga New Ager, mga New Age group. Madami dito sa mga New Ager group, no, believe na may mga alien Na yun nga yung tinatawag na panspermia. Pero I don't believe that. Since I'm a Christian, I believe that there's only one God. There's a Trinity God in three person, no? I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe na nagkaroon ng rebellion that time, no? During that time ang sabi sa Bible kasi sa Book of Revelations na 1/3 ng angel nagrebelde sa kalangitan. There are 3 types of heaven as described in the Bible. The third heaven, the second heaven, the first heaven. The third heaven, yun yung abode ni God. Kung saan nandun yung kingdom niya. Doon siyang literally makikita. Kapag namatay ka, kung pupunta ka doon, makikita mo siya doon. Hopefully sana, yeah. Pero you only have to believe in Jesus. Okay, yun nagkaroon ng rebellion sa kalangitan, penalize sila. Saan sila pupunta? Siyempre, dun sa second heaven. Ang second heaven, yan yung universe. Yan yung mga galaxies. Perhaps yan yung solar system. Yan yung planet Earth. Yung first heaven, kasi 3 types of heaven. Yung first heaven, yan yung immediate atmosphere natin. Yung sky, ganyan. So, yun, nagkalat yung mga anghel na nagrebelde against God kung saan sila napadpad. Kasi wala pang judgment sa kanila. According sa Book of Revelation, yung lake of fire will be open sa pag natapos na lahat. Pag nagkaroon ng great judgment si God. Na kung saan, yung dragon, which is si Satan, siya yung tinatawag na ancient serpent, yung first beast, yung antichrist na sinasabi, at yung second beast, yung tinatawag na false prophet, doon sila itatapon. Pero ngayon, meron tinatawag kasi na hell, na hell is just like a temporary prison. Para siyang, kumbaga sa hindi pa siya yung maximum prison, hindi pa siya yung bilibid. Ang bilibid yung lake of fire na tinatawag. So dito ko i-connect ngayon.
So there is a worse place than hell?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Alright,
lake of fire. Lake of fire is a different location. Dito ko connect ba yung, di ba you believe na meron tinatawag na Agartha? Okay? Okay. You believe in hollow earth, hindi ka flat earth.
Oh, hindi.
Hollow earth ka rin. Hollow earth din, naniniwala ka sa
theory.
hollow earth.
Yes, hollow theory.
Yeah, same tayo. Yung I do believe na merong hollow earth. Meron kasi nag-testimony niya na actually nakita si Admiral Byrd nung World War II. May mga
I heard that
narinig niya na yun.
Iba yung project, project.
May drafting project yata sila tulad natin. May template is kiss.
I forgot the
Hindi I forgot yung exact. Yeah. Bali that time meron silang hinahabol ng mga U-boat. Isang buong armada sila under Admiral Byrd. Yung si Admiral Byrd, ang ginawa ng fleet nila, hinabol nila sa Antarctica o sa South Pole. Hinahanap nila yung mga tumatakas na mga Nazi, na mga submarine, Tapos hanggang napadpad sila doon, nakita nila, merong wall of ice, may nakita sila. Tapos nagpalipad si Admiral Byrd ng eroplano niya. Tapos bigla siya may nakita malaking halo na kung saan ang claim niya bigla daw nakita niya parang kakaiba yung mundo sa loob, tapos meron daw spaceship na kinuha siya tapos nakita niya may mga dinosaur pang nabubuhay doon, ganyan, tapos yung mga tao doon malalaki, tipong para siguro ang eksena niya kung napalood niyo na yung Avatar.
No.
Parang ganon.
Aside from that, ano itong movie na to, yung Journey into the Center of the Earth, something like that?
Yes, parang ganon. Journey to the Center of the Earth. Okay. Ganito, possible na halo ang earth, possible na ang hell kasi, ang sabi lagi sa Bible, nasa ilalim siya ng lupa. During ang sa Bible kasi may mga dinidescribe na mga location, tulad ng hell, no? Ang hell is an English word, pero ang tawag nila dati Hades. Hades, 'di ba? Naalala niyo yung mga Greek ang tawag nila doon. Tapos meron pang mas malalim doon, yung Tartarus, yung bottomless pit, na kung saan according kay Eno at kay Jude, doon kinulong yung mga powerful angels na tawag dito na nagkasala kay God that time. Pakakawalan sila sa itong sabi sa Book of Revelation na makakawala yung mga yon, maghahasik sila ng lagim sa buong mundo. Ang mga angels kasi ganito, they are interdimensional being. They are capable of going from the physical dimension to the spiritual dimension. Siguro, yung word na matrix is a word term lang na inimbento natin. Pero currently kasi we're living in a 4 dimensions. 'Di ba? Space, length, width, height, tapos time. Alam yan. Pero madaming scientists na naniniwala that we are living more than 4 dimensions. Pwedeng
7.
umabot ng 9, 10, ganun. May narinig pa akong ganun. Yeah. Maaaring yung mga dimension na yun, pag pumunta ka sa spiritual dimension, the reason why they can fly so fast, yung mga UFO, di ba? Mga extraterrestrial, they can fly na mas faster pa sa speed of light is because interdimensional sila. They can go from one place to another na going to that dimension. That's the reason why sigurong tawag dito ganun. Madami na akong pinanood ng mga UFO documentary bukod sa Ancient Alien. Meron pa yung Hangar 1. Panoodin niyo yung Hangar 1, matindi yun.
Hangar 1.
Yung mga documentary yung Yeah. Tapos yung mga numerous testimony, halimbawa sila Phil Schneider na mismong engineer na gumagawa ng mga deep underground military base sa Amerika, sa Area 51.
What about Bob Lazar?
Bob Lazar, yeah. Si Bob Lazar, engineer din yan. Si Phil Schneider is an engineer na taga-hukay. Si Bob Lazar naman is a scientist.
Reverse engineering.
More on
reverse engineering.
Nagdumagawa siya ng reverse engineering, okay?
Yeah. I'm just saying, I haven't really watched yung kay Bob Lazar sa Netflix. Pero may mga kasi nag-guest din siya doon sa isang podcast na pinapanood ko eh. And ang maganda doon sa sinasabi nga niya na time na kasi syempre 'di ba ayaw na niyang pag-usapan yung story niya kasi syempre kumbaga alam niya wala namang maniniwala sa kanya eh. Pero kumbaga may mga certain things na may mga certain things siya ni-reveal dati na ngayon na lumalabas. Na yung mga technology na sinasabi niya, ganito, ginawa na namin dati yan. Tapos ngayon lang lumalabas. Which is, kumbaga, in his own personal...
Element 114. 114 ba yun?
Yeah, in his own personal way. Kumbaga, yung mga... Yun is kumbaga at least nagiging kumbaga in somehow it's feel na nafi-feel din naman yan na at least kahit papaano napapatunayan yung sinasabi ko na totoo yung mga yun kasi yung katulad yung sinasabi mo element what is that?
Element 114.
Oh, yan.
114.
Dati kasi sinabi niya na yan, the exact same word, pero nobody believes him. Pero now,
yung ginagamit na yun, na-discover na yun. Yeah.
And then one of the things na alala ko, they were showing na ini-explain niya, bago ka pumunta doon sa facility na kung saan siya nag-work, may tawag dito, syempre, I think it was 80s or whatever. Pero they developed this technology na sinabi na it was reverse engineer sa alien, which is yung palm scanner. Kumbaga, noong time na yun, wala pa naman talagang ganon. At saka yung dinidescribe niya, talaga, I think he really described it well, pero of course, nobody believed him, diba? And to the point na yung person na tumutulong sa kanya para gawin yung documentary, they managed to find that exact same thing. So, I mean, somehow for him, he feel na at least it's a proof na I'm not lying. Right? Pero of course it's still difficult for us to believe 100%. I mean of course if you watch those documentary you really want to believe 100%. And the problem is if you believe it 100%, it's either people will say you're crazy or if all of those shit is real, you really get scared, right? Syempre nakakatakot, 'di ba? Kung totoo nga talaga 'yon. Diba? So yun lang yung mga alright, go on.
Basically, I mean, coming from a Christian perspective, kasi I believe in God. I believe He's the supreme power of everything. He's the creator of heaven and earth. If you're a Christian, this so-called entity, wala na silang platform sa iyo. They cannot control you. They cannot touch you without the permission of God Almighty. Okay? Madaming ganito. There's really a mix of information going on. Proponents of mga ancient aliens are mostly mga sila. They don't believe in God. They're mostly agnostic or atheist or medyo shallow. Kung Christian man sila, shallow. Pero may kasi tinatawag na Christian perspective coming from a biblical perspective. Kasi it makes more sense kapag kinonect mo siya sa Bible. It makes more sense because it defines yung tinatawag na yung purpose o existence ng life. That God created mankind, hindi yung mga so-called aliens. Kasi yung mga proponent ng ancient aliens, lagi nilang binibida, yung mga gods daw. Kung narinig nyo na yung kay Eric von Daniken, yung Chariots of the Gods, narinig nyo na ba yun? Okay, yan. Okay, yung mga mostly na mga proponent nun is they really, kumbaga they say that they read the Bible. Nagkakot din naman sila nung galing sa Bible. Actually, naniniwala sila na talagang nagkaroon ng global flood. pero hindi yung flood ni Noah. Yung version ng flood ng Ice Age, yun yung flood na version nila. Pero yung flood ni Noah kasi happens 4,000 years ago. Dito, kasi very wide talaga research ko dito, dito mo rin may explain why are there so many pyramids na nagkalat sa buong mundo. Since we're architects, medyo ano tayo sa mga ancient structures, di ba? Kung makikita niyo yung a lot of ancient structures na dinefine of sa ancient aliens is really mga amazing structures. Halimbawa, punta ka sa South America, sa Mexico. Yung mga pyramid doon, madami pa sa pyramid sa Egypt eh.
Yeah. Sa Egypt.
Kaya kung makita mo na lang yung Pyramid of the Sun doon, yung 3 pyramid na similar do sa 3 pyramid sa Egypt, yung Khafre, Khufu, tsaka Menkaure ba yun? Ayun, sa yung Great Pyramid, meron din 3 pyramid doon na halos exact. It mimics yung tinatawag na Orion's Belt.
Orion's Belt.
Yeah, yung Orion's Belt. Ang Orion's Belt, pag tinignan mo sa tubig, yung reflection niya, makita mo sa tubig, ganun din yung yung mga pyramid na to. Yeah. Because they were built as an altar to the gods. Yung gods na yun, small g.
Interject lang for a while. Actually, doon ka rin magtataka eh. Kumbaga, paano nangyari yun, di ba? Kumbaga, sabihin natin, ancient times. Because we always view that ancient times that, of course, it's ancient, so wala sila cellphone, internet, or whatever. Pero doon ka rin magtataka, paano nila na-built yung something, like, let's say, pyramid. Paano nila na-built yung pyramid exactly the same as what it is sa other side of the world, right? So, kumbaga, they're supposed to have some means of communication, but we don't know what it is. Yeah. So, could it be, like I said, could it be? Maybe. I don't know, What if they're taking DMT drugs or whatever, or like mushrooms, na doon nagkukunin yung higher consciousness nila? Oh, sabihin natin, that's their technology. It's still a technology.
Okay. When God created si Adam and Eve, 100% ng utak nila gumagana. Possible na yung, kasi di ba ngayon, ang study ngayon, parang 2 to 10%, maximum 10%. Tayo minsan, hindi pa natin ginagamit utak natin. Madami pa mga taong hindi gumagamit ng kokote, di ba?
Maraming tanga.
Siguro kung magamit natin yung maximum 100% capacity ng brain natin will be like, the movie Lucy.
Yeah.
So, anyway, go on, Barry, go on.
Yeah. What I mean is, when God created Adam and Eve, yung brain power nila that time possible mataas. But because of the fall of man, yung tinatawag na sin, nag-deteriorate sila. Yung nag-deteriorate sila, hindi naman basta-basta, pero it takes time para bago mag-deteriorate. Kaya nga possible, yung mga legend of yung mga tao na dati na mga ancient times, like Atlantis, Lemuria, yung mga matatalino mga tao that time, reason why na nakikreate nila yung mga pyramid is because one is they have a brain power, matalino sila. So meaning brain power, they alam nila kung paano i-levitate yung mga bagay using sound frequency. Okay, sabi ni Nikola Tesla, if you want to know the secrets and the magnificence of the universe, check on this. Start pag-aralan yung number na to, 3, 7, and 9. I-research niya maigi yan. It also coincides with the tinatawag na Fibonacci sequence. Fibonacci sequence, meron siyang tinatawag na pattern. Everything is well designed. Reason why na merong iisang creator.
Okay, may interject lang may interject lang, Barry.
Sige, go.
Yung what is that? Fibonacci sequence. Yeah, that is the one that I forgot what is the name of that scientist, yung sinasabi ko nina, yung physicist na yon, na nakita niya na may yung sequence na yun, nakita niya sa plant, which is doon niya sinasabi na maaring we are living in a simulation. Because nakita niya yung code na yun. Na it's a repeating code sa plant. Like I said, kung paano man niya nakita yon, we don't know. I really don't. I never really done my research. But I saw that video na pinipresent niya sa sa isang symposium or something like that, na he's proposing that he saw that code on plants, that Fibonacci sequence. So meaning, in his analysis, na posible talagang we are living in a simulation and we really don't even know it yet. So what if this coronavirus is an actual
simulation?
Is an actual computer virus to delete us? Who knows? Then maybe whoever died with the virus, then when they
kaya pala si Bill Gates yung very active dyan kasi computer virus.
Who knows? What if
ang tawag nga namin dun sa kanya Bill Gates kasi nga meron saka na tayo pupunta medyo pinipresent ko muna sa inyo kasi
Alright,
yung
go on.
yung roots.
Actually,
Okay,
for the
okay,
folks
Bago
who's
tayo pumunta doon sa mga conspiracy ngayong
okay.
end times. yung mga
Again,
Illuminati.
for the folks who's listening right now, again, I'm sorry, this is not what you were thinking about Architalks, but it is interesting. In my opinion, this shit is interesting. Stoner talk people, just, go with the flow, guys. Go with the flow. All right, Barry, go on.
All right. So, saan tayo natapos kanina? Fibonacci.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yung kay Tesla, sabi niyo, if you want to know the secrets of the universe, go study mo daw yung lahat parang lagi may correlation sa 3, 5, and 9. It's a mathematical equation na kung saan na kapag nag-compute ka ng something, yung 3, 5 nandaw kasi ng mga numbers na yun is from the divine. 3, 7, and 9. 3, 7, and 9. So, sabi ni Nikola Tesla, parang everything is connected na pag even yung mga pyramids, no? Alam nyo ba yung tawag dito? Para ako si Kuya Kim, no? Alam nyo ba na ganito? Hindi. Alam nyo ba yung tawag dito? Geographical location ng pyramid to sa Egypt is the same number ng speed of light. Kung titignan mo siya sa Google Earth, yung pyramid sa Egypt is located in a geographical location na 29 degrees. Kasi ang speed of light is 299,700 meter per second, I think. Tapos yung pyramid, basta same yung geographical location ng pyramid tsaka ng speed of light is iisa. I-check nyo maigi yan.
Latitude and longitude ng
Yes. Tapos ang pyramid sa Egypt is naka-direct siya sa 4 cardinal points. Naka-orient siya 90 degrees sa tinatawag na true north. At that time, akala ng mga tao kasi akala kasi ng mga tao dati, ngayon na mga tao dati mga mangmang. Nagsimula tayo sa mga caveman. Kasi yung evolution theory, yun yung pinopropose na nag-evolve lang ang tao. Na ang tao lang, from the Big Bang theory, na-develop lang through bacteria hanggang sa naging unggoy, evolution theory. It's a theory na kahit si Darwin, binawi niya yung bago siya mamatay. It's not true. Madaming evidences na meron talagang God, meron talagang tinatawag na intelligent being. Yung pinag-uusapan lang natin ngayon, di ba, yung mga Fibonacci sequence, yung DNA, yung double helix ng DNA. Kung makikita mo, ang DNA napaka-intricate ng ng design na yung 46 chromosomes, 22, 23 sa mother, 23 sa father, sa mother, ganyan. So, tawag dito yung DNA natin napaka-intricate na capable siya na i-repair yung sarili niya. Tsaka yung DNA natin, doon nakastore lahat ng information. So, lahat ng living being, whether animal ka o whether plants, meron kanya-kanya mga DNA. May mga tinatawag na mga genetic code. Ngayon, kung by chance lang ang lahat na nagsimula sa Big Bang, unang-una, nothing can create itself. Ang sabi nila, meron daw 2 bato na nagbagong banggaan. Saan galing yung bato? Saan nanggaling yung energy? Di ba? Nothing can create everything. Nothing nga eh. Pag sinabi mong nothing. Diba? So, imposibleng nothing. Ibig sabihin, hindi totoo yung Big Bang. It's a lie na ginawa ni Satan so that people won't believe. Kasi madami mga scientists ngayon doesn't really believe in God. Kasi parang medyo nasway sila. Pero most of yung mga naging scientists na mga nauna is a God-believing Christian. Yung mga di ba, sila Louis Pasteur, ganyan, yung mga naging haligi ng science, modern science. Ang nangyari na lang, so parang somehow na-corrupt sila. So even yung mga astronomer na nag-i-study ng mga stars, ang dami kasi mga atheists eh. Pero meron talagang kasi imposibleng walang gumawa ng lahat eh, na ang science kasi hindi niya pwedeng i-explain lahat ng bagay. Meron talaga siyang limitation. One thing is, how can science explains about love? Is it only a chemical reaction ng katawan? Di ba? How can science explains about fear or sympathy o ability of man to appreciate music, 'di ba? So yun yung mga godly character na binigay sa atin ni God. Reason why ang tao, meron tayong tinatawag na consciousness. Conscious tayo. We have the ability to rationalize things. We have the ability to know kung ano yung right from wrong. Diba? Yun yung main purpose. Sina-sideway ko because mostly yung mga na-proponent ng mga so-called na mga ancient aliens, saka yung mga alien groups no na meron ngayon, madami sa kanila mga atheists, naniniwala talaga sila na yung mga tawag dito or naniniwala sila na sinid tayo ng mga alien dito sa Earth, which is hindi siya totoo. So ngayon, yung mga sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina, yung katulad nung kay Enoch, ganyan, regarding about sa mga angels na nagrebelde, yung mga angel, yung time ni Noah, yung reason why kaya kailangan i-flood ni God ang buong earth that time is because sobrang wicked na ng tao. Kasi nga, yung nagkakaroon ng genetic manipulation yung mga so-called alien, yung mga so-called mga fallen angel. Kasi diba nakipag-interbreed sila sa tao. So nagkaroon sila ng offspring, hybrid ng angel tsaka ng tao. Ang na-produce nila mga so-called na mga weird na mga beings. So dito na papasok ngayon yung mga legend na mga Greeks tsaka mga Romans, yung diba, mga Greeks, they believe sila Hercules, they believe in Zeus, diba? Sila Poseidon, sila kung sino yung mga gods nila. Yeah, possible. Yung mga gods na yun yung mga fallen angel. Possible they exist. Pero hindi sila yung God Almighty ng Bible. Meron talagang God Almighty ng Bible. Kasi nga, ang mga fallen angel, gusto nila maging God by themselves. God-like. Yes. Kumbaga, kinukuhanan nila ng si God.
God by reputation. Because, of course, they're more powerful than the human beings. Right? So, of course, everything that is powerful than the human beings or powerful than us. You know, we always say gods, right? Like, for example, may interject lang ita, balik tayo sa pagiging architecture talk. Like, for example, if one person is really good at doing something, right? Like, doing perspective, doing
God mode,
whatever. Di ba, tawag natin God mode o master. O, yun lang yun. So, ibig sabihin, yung mga being na yun, whether or not, if they're aliens or whatever, the point is, of course, you will view them as gods. Kasi like for example, if we, the people from now, went back in time and you bring your phone and you take a photo, and you show them like, oh, we can do this, we can record this. Of course, people will think that you're a god or you're like some sort of wizard, right? So basically, it's like that. Humankind really don't know shit back then. And I think up until now, we only know maybe not even half of whatever it is. I mean, that's what I think.
Kasi nga nag-decline ng intelligence ng mankind from having superior intellect that time. Kaya nga nakakagawa sila ng mga technology. Possible kaya nga yung mga pyramid, bakit natayo yun? Nagtataka tayo, paano nila nabuhat yun? Ang bibigat niya na. Tsaka wala naman mga puno dito. Malayo pa yung kasi that time, yung bago mag-flood, possible, hindi siya desierto. Possible yung lugar ng sa Egypt, teeming siya ng wildlife tsaka ng forest. Madaming puno doon, possible. Tapos in the same time, it was created, hindi ng mga Egyptians, hindi naman, wala sa mga, i-research yung maigi, hindi kiniklaim ng mga Egyptians sila nang gumawa ng pyramid. Hindi nila timeline yun. It was created bago pa lang yung yung flood ni Noah, 4,000. Way before pa yun. It's much older. Kaya kung makikita mo yung pyramid, wala naman mga tomb dun wala naman wala nakaburol na king dun.
And remember, even Sphinx, it's not really created by those Egyptian It's already been there. Ang ginawa nila sa Sphinx, nirenovate lang nila yung Sphinx. Binago lang nila yung image. Let's say yung mukha, diba? Diba supposed to be nakikita natin Sphinx is like a half human, half lion or something like that. Pero I think yung human face, if I'm not mistaken, human face na yan is new. That was the new part. Pero yung mismong part na lion na katawan, it's way older than the Egyptian time itself. So there is someone there's someone who actually made those things. Pero kumbaga, syempre, ang point nga doon, syempre yung mga what is the right word? Egyptologists, they don't want to, I think it was like a debate during that time na may naka-discover na I forgot the name kung sino man yung professor na yon, that sinasabi niya na may water erosion doon sa Sphinx. So meaning yung Sphinx na yon is older than the Egyptian time. And then what we see right now is actually renovated. But of course, yung mga Egyptologists, they don't want to admit. Because once they admit na mali sila, then everything is wrong. You know?
Yeah.
Yun lang yun.
A lot of our history
they need to change
really
their own study. They need to change the history book, which is they don't want to do it. Right? Siyempre, nakakaya sa part nila yun.
Anyway, touch move na yan eh. Touch move na nila yan eh.
Para sa project lang yan, pre. Pag nakita mo yung hagdanan mali, huwag mo nang pansinin yung hagdanan mali. Ulitin mo tayo lahat.
Okay na yun.
Gastos yun.
Change order yun. Diba? So basically, it's like that, folks. Para naman sa mga listeners natin, mga architecture student and architects, we are interjecting some of the architectural. There you go. Architalks for you people. All right, man. Go on.
Yeah, we're talking about ancient architecture na. Yeah. So connected pa rin talaga, no? Connected
this
pa rin.
Podcast, like I said, we created a new word last episode. It's infocomedic. So this is what we are. Infocomedic. There's information and a comedic element. So infocomedic. All right, man, go on. Yeah.
So if I can go on, what part na tayo? Yun yung flood ni Noah. Ganito. So yung nagkaroon ng flood, namatay itong mga beings na to, sila na ngayon ang naging origin ng so-called na mga demons o mga evil spirit o mga disembodied spirits. Ngayon magtataka tayo, bakit ang daming legend? Bakit ang daming mga tao na may mga third eye na nakakita ng mga tawag dito, ng mga duwende, kapre, na mga nono sa punso, mga multo-multo, mga laman lupa, tikbalang, diba? Sa atin pa lang yan, diba? Meron pa mga legend ng mga gnomes, fairies, etc. Possible kasi, yung nagkaroon ng genetic manipulation, nagkaiba-iba ng itsura ng mga beings that time ni Noah. Nagkaroon ng mga higante, nagkaroon ng mga cyclops, diba? Nagkaroon din ng mga possible that time, nagkaroon ng hybrid ng tao, tsaka isda, nagkaroon ng mga mermaids, nagkaroon ng mga ibang tawag ng lalaking merman. Hindi, yung mga shokoy, yun, mga shokoy. So nagkaroon ng genetic manipulation yung tao tsaka yung mga ganun. So sila ngayon ang pinagmulan nito mga origin na mga ito, yung mga Encanto, so-called, mga half-breed sila. Yung namatay sila, madami sa kanila namatay kasi sabi doon, and there were Nephilims during the time of Noah and also after that. Kasi yung after that, yung kung matatandaan natin, halimbawa sila Goliath is a Nephilim. Half-breed siya ng between, kaya siya malaki. Meron pa sa part ng Bible, no, yung si Joshua, nag-send siya ng mga spies sa land of Canaan. Ang sabi na mga spies, yung dinescribe nila kay Joshua, yung pagpunta na sila sa land of Canaan. Kasi doon magiging Israel pa lang yun eh. Doon yung promised land nila eh. Yung nakita na doon nila doon, mga higante. Yung ulo, yung itsura daw nila kumpara sa mga higante na yon in comparison, para lang daw silang grasshopper. Ikaw pag tumayo, gaano kalit ang grasshopper? Di ba? Sobrang liit. Sabihin, yung mga nakita nila Joshua that time, possible 30-footer, 40-footer, 50-footer, ganong kalalaki, mga giant. May mga giant dati, kaya sa Bible, throughout the Bible, madami silang dinidescribe na may mga nag-survive na giant. May mga genetic manipulation na ginagawa pa rin si Satan, para kalikutin yung DNA ng tao. Kaya ako kinakwento sa inyo ito kasi gusto ko bago ko i-discuss sa inyo yung mga deep underground military bases o yung mga Area 51, yung mga nangyayari ngayon, meron siyang connection. Yun yung history. Kasi ang ginagawa ni Satan ngayon, ginagawa niya ulit, continuously yung ginawa niya dati, genetic manipulation. Dito na yung lalabas yung narinig niyo yung mga reptilian, yung mga nagpapanggap na tao. Okay. May mga reptilian na maaaring sila mga fallen angel to mga to o mga half-breed na sila. Tapos yung mga Area 51, may mga levels daw yan sa ilalim na kung saan madami mga reptilian tsaka draconian. Kasi may mga iba-iba itsura nila, may mga iba tawag sa kanila, may draconian, may reptilian, merong Nordics, kung ano mga terminology nila. Lahat sila mga fallen mga fallen angel sila. Lahat sila pwedeng half-breed na sila. So since they have the technology to create yung mga tinatawag na mga flying saucer, tawag dito, meron silang wisdom ngayon para tawag dito. Kasi ang objective nila to control mankind in these last days. Pag dumating yung Antichrist, siya nag-reign, sila maglalabasan sila. Yun yung pinakapunto dito. they will, kasi ang mga Kristiyano, sa Kristiyano, we believe na sabi sa Bible na magkakaroon ng time na magkakaroon ng Great Tribulation. Yung Great Tribulation will last 7 years. Papahirapan ng Antikristo ang lahat ng tao for 7 years. Actually, 3.5 lang doon yung pagpapahirap niya. Lalo na yung mga Christian. So, pag hindi ka naka-receive pag wala kang mark of the beast, yung microchip, yung 666 na sinasabi, tawag dito, hindi ka makaka-buy on sale. Ngayon, ano ba yung pinapromote nila Bill Gates? Yung Microsoft, may patent na Microsoft ngayon. Yung ID 2026 060606 na kung saan yung katawan mo mismo magiging miner. Familiar ba kayo sa cryptocurrency?
Bitcoin.
Okay, meron kayong Bitcoin?
Nope.
Pero familiar kayo do, 'di ba? The future of the world is cashless society. Meron na tayong transition, 'di ba, from mga credit cards, debit card, GCash, Paymaya, PayPal, ganyan. Sooner mawawala na yung cash, mawawala na ang dollar. Everyone will turn into so-called na tinatawag na mga cryptocurrency. Pero ang thing with this, ang Microsoft nag-develop na siya ng invention o patent, which is under kay Bill Gates, no, na kung saan ilalagay mismo yung, kasi ang cryptocurrency is nasa mga mining siya na, di ba yung mga computer, may mga ang tawag nila miner. Iiwan lang nila yan, magmamine sila ng mga tinatawag na mga tawag dito. Meron silang mga terminology, hindi ako magaling sa cryptocurrency. Pero ang gagawin nila Bill Gates, instead na computer, is yung human body mo. So, human body mo magmamine, tapos lalagyan ka ng microchip.
Parang may naisip akong pelikula niyan eh. Alam niyo kay Justin Timberlake, yung In Time. Yung oras, di ba? Parang ayun yung currency. Diba?
Medyo similar aspect. Medyo similar na concept. Pero, yun yung future ng world, cashless society. Hindi ka na makaka-travel na wala ka microchip kasi nandun na rin ang passport mo, nandun ang SSS mo, nandun ang national ID mo. Lahat na ng information ng mga sa microchip. Pero ang sabi sa Bible, when you receive the mark of the beast, when you die, you will go to hell because hindi ka na makakakyat sa heaven. Kasi yun yung sign na kisatan ka. Somehow, yung microchip kasi na yun has the ability to manipulate yung DNA mo. It has the ability to manipulate yung mind as if para kang magiging zombie. Yung mga 5G ngayon, tsaka yung sinasabi kong Starlink ni Tesla, tsaka kung narinig nyo na yung HARP.
HARP.
Project Bluebeam. Project Bluebeam. Okay? Yung they can project sa air yung mga 3D hologram. Okay? Totoo na yun. Wala na imposible sa technology ngayon. I-research nyo yung mga na-invento ni Nikola Tesla during his time. Siya ang foundation ng most of modern invention. Kaya si Nikola Tesla is, ang intent naman niya is good for mankind.
Yes.
Pero ginamit siya ng mga Illuminati. Most madami mga invention niya. Taken for
actually,
granted.
Si Tesla nga for some reason tinanggal yung yung mga notes niya. I mean, they confiscated it, even yung mga experiment niya. So imagine during that time he's already proposing a renewable energy source na hindi ka na electricity na hindi ka nagagamit ng wireless electricity.
Yes.
So meaning yung electricity magta-transmit sa air.
Yes.
Totoo bang namatay si Nikola?
Namatay na siya.
Parang parang kinuha daw siya or something or lang ko lang yun lang na ko na kinuha siya. Hindi ko alam yan. Parang na-cross ko lang yan. Hindi ko masyadong nabasa ko lang.
Baka sila Brad Pitt yan. Alien.
Si Brad Pitt.
Brad's Pitt. Hindi, babalik tayo. No? Yung tawag dito, si Nikola Tesla, he's an unsung hero and a wizard. Siya yung nag-develop ng alternating current.
Yep.
By using alternating current, tinalo niya yung DC ni tawag dito ni Edison.
Mm-hmm.
'Di ba si Edison is direct current. So nakuha niya yung patent, binili ngayon or rather parang binigay nga yata yung ng Westinghouse saka ng GE yung invention ni Nikola Tesla by harnessing yung energy ng yung dam sa US, yung kasi yung naging yun yung ginamit nila para mag-generate ng alternating current. So kasi ang alternating current mas malayo tsaka mas malakas yung kaya niyang i-project na electricity compare with direct current. Kaya nga direct current, pang ano lang yan eh. Pang maliliit lang na gadget yan, di ba? Yung mga ordinary battery. So si Nikola Tesla, he is the inventor or na mga proponent ng mga following inventions like radio. Hindi si David Marconi ang naka-discover ng radio waves, kundi si Nikola Tesla. Tapos yung kay Floresco, hindi rin totoo yun. Yung Pilipino daw naka-discover ng fluorescent light. Mas nauna yung patent ni Nikola Tesla sa fluorescent light. Siya nag-develop ng fluorescent light. Tapos X-ray, neon, wireless communication, wireless energy. During his times, na-invento na niya yung tawag dito, na-discover niya paano i-harness ang energy from the air. Ang tawag nila dito yung scalar energy. Nilalagay niya sa isang device and kaya niya i-project remotely ang electricity. Kung makikita niyo yung sa Wyden Cliff, yung tinatawag na Tesla coil, yung Tesla tower, yun, yung may kuryente, yun. Kaya niya mag-project ng electricity. Saan ba, may aeroplano na lumilipad, kukuhanin niya kung nasaan yan, yung signal nun. Kasi po project na yung kuryenteng ganun, wireless. Kaso that time, si JP Morgan kasi nag-invest sa kanya. Yung nag-invest si JP Morgan sa kanya, sa invention niya, naglagay na siya ng mga copper wire sa buong Amerika. Si JP Morgan is he himself a Freemason and a member of Illuminati. So, siyempre, they want to control power, they want to control energy. So, ang ginawa niya, binangkrap nila si Nikola Tesla. Ngayon, kaya si Tesla, sinunog yung lab niya, ninakaw yung mga invention. Pero si Tesla kasi parang wizard siya eh. I mean, sinolve niya yung mga mahihirap na mga calculus at saka mga mathematical problem during yung mga nasa school years siya na hindi siya nagsusulat, hindi siya nagko-compute sa papel ha. Sa utak lang niya. Sa isip lang niya. Nagtataka ngayon yung mga teacher niya paano nasasagutan ng perfect nang wala siya man lang scratch paper o nako-complete niya. Siya, may pagka-autistic. Si Tesla, sobrang talino niya. Anyway, punta na tayo doon sa latter day, no? Meron kasi tinatawag na, transhumanism. Yung subject ng transhumanism is similar doon sa ginagawa ng mga angels that time, yung genetic manipulation ng mankind, yung time ni Noah. Yung transhumanism is basically manipulating the genetic code ng tao. Kaya ngayon, di ba, may mga gumagawa ng tinatawag na stem cell, cloning, yung ability na mag-produce ng limbs siguro, out of laboratory. Yun. Tapos, at the same time, is doing hybrid ng genetic code ng tao tsaka ng animal. Yun yung ginawa nila nung time nila Noah. Yung mga angels, minipulate nila yung genetic code ng tao tsaka animals. Kaya nag-produce sila ng mga hybrid na mga tao at animal. Di ba may mga lumalabas na mga legend na mga Greek na mga centaur? O halimbawa tayo, may mga legend tayo ng mga tikbalang. Pareho lang yun eh. Centaur tsaka tikbalang, di ba isa lang yun? Yung half na kabayo, half na tao. So yun, pinaglaruan nila. And they have the capability and the wisdom to do that, which is forbidden by God. Kasi only God, si God lang ang merong right para i-manipulate ang DNA. Kung ano yung dinesign niya sa tao, yun na yun. Hindi natin pwedeng basta kalikutin o galawin yun. Kaya dyan papasok yung tinatawag na dark science o black science. Kasi siya, para siyang hindi na siya out of na siya. Hindi na siya dapat ginagawa ng tao. Pero dahil do sa mga so-called na mga angels, minamanipulate niya hanggang ngayon. Kaya ngayon, mapapakinggan mo ngayon pag nagre-research ka ng mga alien na ng mga documentary regards sa mga alien abduction. Yan, papasok ngayon yung abduction. Same yung ginagawa nila, genetic manipulation. Kinukuha nila yung DNA. Yes, oo. So yun, siguro I would like to end yung discussion ko muna dun kasi mahabang kwentuhan to as in
sobra.
Sobrang
masyadong malawak.
Wala pa tayo sa mga Illuminati, mga kwento dun. Basta kasi since naging Christian ako noong way back 1996, nagbabasa na ako, nagre-research na ako. Tapos yung nangyari yung World Trade Center 9/11, nag-research na ako, sila pala may gawa ng inside job pala yun. Tapos lumabas na yung YouTube, madami ng interaction, dami na ako napaload.
Yung mga yan, yung nalala mo yung speaking of that 9/11, I remember during that time, I think I was in elementary school during the time, there's like a documentary about the prophecy of Nostradamus, right? And some of them, like, though syempre, hindi naman iniisa-isa, pero pinakita nila mga significant prophecy ni Nostradamus na nagkatotoo. And then the last part of his prophecy, I mean, one of the last part of the prophecy before the end of the world, they said that yun nga na babaksak yung Twin Tower. And of course, during that time, I think it was 1990s during that time. So they're like saying,
Yes.
imposibleng bumaksak ang World Trade Center because World Trade Center is been designed to withstand earthquake or whatever, right? So they said during that time, the only way, meron pa sila video presentation that time, and they say that the only way na babaksak yung World Trade Center if there's a asteroid na tatama sa World Trade Center, a massive asteroid impact, that's the time na dun babaksak yung World Trade Center, or it will be an atom bomb or something like that. But surprisingly, when we were in college, boom, there you go, 9/11. And I remember doon pa ako sa classroom and I was like saying that, holy shit, the end is here.
Yeah, para ka nanood ng Die Hard, di ba?
Right?
Oo.
Kala mo nandun si Bruce Willis, pinasabog yung building. Yeah, it's
Meron din
another
conspiracy din yun,
set of
di ba?
story. Yeah. I've researched that. Meron pa nga akong PowerPoint presentation na ako mismo yung gumawa. Research ko.
Man,
Ganun ako kahayok dati sa mga ganyang ano.
well,
Pero
all
it's
I
an
can say is,
inside
Larry,
job.
You're one of the interesting guests right now. Kasi me and Mara was like all in awe. I mean, first of all, we have an idea, but not to that extent. So, again, for the listeners listening to this podcast, yes, Architalks, somehow it's still related.
Sobrang dami na information. Alam mo, nakanganga na lang ako, tumutulo na ilaway ko.
Yeah.
Actually, yung pa yung fast na version.
Fast version.
Kasi
yes,
pag
yes. I know.
hihimay-himay mo talaga yan.
Parang ang lumalabas ngayon, parang alam mo yung alam ko dyan sa mga ancient alien, parang so and so lang nung nakausap kita. Sabi ko, wow, ganun pala kalawak yun.
Yeah, you really need to connect everything. It all starts with reading the Bible. Kasi for me, madami mga misleading na information tulad ng mga proponent ng ancient alien. Ganun. I would like to connect it more on sa Christian perspective na what's the reason why bakit meron ganitong mga bagay na nangyayari. Kasi nga, there will come a time na magkakaroon ng tinatawag na Great Tribulation according sa Bible. That the Antichrist, si Satan, will rule planet Earth at one time. Parang kumbaga sabihin na nating purge anarchy ang buong mundo. Yeah, parang ganon. Ganon scenario. So one world government, yun yung tinatawag na apocalyptic na scenario na kung saan ang objective niya is to establish a one-world government, one-world currency, one-world religion, one-world political leader na kung saan ang leader nila yung Antichrist. And I do believe na merong correlation yan. Maaring siguro that time, yung mga spaceship na yan, maaring magpakita na yan sa tao. Ang greatest line na sasabihin nila, we are the ones who created mankind. Yan. Pwede yung Antichrist, manggagaling siya sa spaceship.
Yan ba yung
yung mga Anunnaki?
NWO?
New World Order.
New World Order. Yun yung ano nila. Ang umbrella kasi, Brad, ng New World Order is ang Illuminati, madami siya mga agencies na sinasabi. I mean, I don't want to offend ng Catholic, pero the on the top of the food chain.
Don't get me wrong. Listen, for me, I'm not offended with that one because I think when it comes to the there's like a lot of loopholes or plot holes, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. There's a lot of things that even for me, because like for example in the Bible, they say that don't worship idols, right? Don't worship any false idols. But the problem is if you go to the there's a lot of like idols. So doon pa lang contradicting na, di ba?
Bago kasi dumating ang iba-iba mga religion na nasa Christian, supposedly Christendom din, di ba? Nagkaroon ng mga different denominations, no? Yung pinaka most powerful throughout history. And they are the ones who, once upon a time, controls the monarchs of Europe, kings and queens, bow down sa power ng papacy na tinatawag. So basically, kung maalala nyo kanina sinasabi ko na mayroong mga different characters sa Book of Revelations, yung dragon represents Satan. First beast represents yung Antichrist na darating. Second beast, if you study the history of yung papacy, yung papacy ang tinatawag na second beast, yung false prophet na sinasabi. Then from there, ko sa inyo yung mga sub-agency, madaming mga under them. tulad ng mga Knights of Malta, Knights of Columbus, under Catholic, no? Tapos meron na tinatawag na Club of Rome, meron tinatawag na Bilderberg Group, meron tinatawag na Trilateral Commission, meron tinatawag na Committee of 300, meron tinatawag na Council of Foreign Relations, Skulls and Bones.
I heard that.
Yeah, yun yung mga neophytes, Skulls and Bones sa Yale University. So basically, they have a lot of institution because there's a lot of people na kailangan kontrolin sa buong mundo. Kasama na rin dito yung mga Freemason, Rosicrucian, mga Knights Templar, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah. Speaking of
madami
yung I remember there's a particular picture that I saw on internet. Meron silang hall doon na sa likod ng kanilang, I'm not sure if it's staged on altar. But the point is, sa likod ng kanyang, yung sculpture nila, it's like a demon sculpture.
Yeah, nakita mo rin yun, no? Di ba?
Right? Na demon sculpture, in a sense that it's like, kind of weird. If you're church promoting
There's
God
nothing
and
Christian
shit,
about
why
it,
is it that you have a demon behind you? It's massive and it's scary as fuck.
Yeah, true. I mean, I have a lot of visual presentation pag gusto niyo makita. I mean, I can show you a lot of things regarding about that.
Nako, Barry.
Yeah.
Barry, may part 2 to, pre, ah. Oh, grabe. May part 2 ka, pre. Ang ganda ng topic.
May part 2 ka. Re-reserve ka namin next time.
Ang ganda ng topic.
Sure.
Yeah. Because now we are almost in the 2-hour mark of our podcast. But anyway, we
kaya nga, kailangan ko nang putulin din. Kaya,
I enjoy this. I was like, lahat na sinasabi mo na imagine ko na eh. Tapos sabi ko, because there's some bits of what you're saying that I have an idea, I already saw some of it, but majority of it is like, oh man, and we're not even taking lead at this point, yo. And actually, don't get me wrong, actually the best part of this podcast is, aside from you talking about Ancient Alien and stuff like that, you're also interjecting Bible. And interjecting that you being a Christian, so you connect it in a different way. Because me and Ma, when we see it, for me personally, I connect it in my own, my own knowledge. Like, as an ordinary person, not really religious enough to connect it. So I'm leaning into more of what I know, the knowledge that I know, plus more on the scientific aspect of it. Same with Mao. Whatever he accumulated by watching YouTube videos, but most likely all of them in a scientific way, right? But your approach is different. Yeah. Your approach is like in terms
Bible
of Ancient Alien, it's more deeper than that because you're approaching it in a way that is in a religious way, in a Christian way, and of course you're interconnecting them with the story of the Bible, which is somehow it's much more interesting now to listen to, rather than like say, the great flood,
nagkakaroon ng sense, di ba? It make more sense.
It make more sense, and at the same time, it's much more engaging. At the same time, if it's all real, it's going to be really scary. Imagine if all of this shit is real. Whether or not you believe or not, but because it's like this. Of course, a lot of people needs to have a evidence to see is to believe, right? And I'm not a Bible person, but I know based on what I know, the second coming will eventually come, and then when he arrives, everyone will see it, like in every part of the world. And basically, I said, we are on that age na when the second coming comes, everyone can see it because now we have internet, we have phones, mobile phones, smartphone, PC, computer, Wi-Fi. Fucking everyone will see it.
Going live.
Because nowadays
darating araw na Jesus will be seen. Makikita siya live on television.
Yeah, because everyone can see it in real time. Everyone can see it in real time. We are already on that age. Na tipong everyone can be seen, everyone can be heard. You don't need to be a celebrity to be heard or to be seen.
Yeah.
We are already on that sweet spot of the human history right now, and so it's like shit.
Nasabi ni Jesus, he will return at daw sa Matthew 24 kasi tinatanong ng mga disciples, when is your coming back? When are you coming back? Sabi ni Jesus, he will return at the end of the age. Hindi naman niya sinabi at the end of the world. Okay, medyo sway natin ng konti. No? According do sa mga ngayon sa astrology, ngayon daw yung tinatawag na so-called na end of the age of Pisces. Pisces, okay? Meron kasing yan cycle na tinatawag. According to the Mayan calendar, hindi 2012 ang end, this 2020 something.
Yeah.
Sabi
Actually,
nila
the 2012
is
sorry to interject. Actually, the 2012 na end of the world, it's just it's like one big bullshit. I forgot who is that person na in-interject lang in 2012. Then eventually it become a reality in a sense that a lot of people believe it. Or actually, he just made those things up. So 2012 is not really real. Tapos nakiride on ng lahat ng tao. Yun eh. Yun yung pagkakalam sa 2012. It's not really real.
Yung sinasabi kasi nila sa Mayan calendar, sabi nila 2012 daw. Ngayon, nag-revise sila. Nasabi nila 2020. Yun ang sabi nila. End of cycle na tinatawag o end of Pisces na sinasabi. Well, everything is correlation. I mean, mga ancient wisdom yan. Yung mga taong dati. Hindi ko naman sinasabi na lahat na sinasabi nila hindi totoo. Possible kasi na nabigyan din sila ng wisdom regarding about those things, about mga calendar, astronomical events, etc., etc., etc. Ngayon, merong asteroid na padating this coming 2029. Ang pangalan niya si Apophis. Similar to sa, ewan ko, na parang, kasi ang 2012, ang issue, yung Planet X, yung Nibiru. Hindi naman dumating. Narinig niyo na yung Planet X, Nibiru?
I heard that word, Nibiru. Yes.
Yung tinatawag nilang the 10th planet, hindi daw kasi 10 yan. Meron pa isang planeta na rogue planet na ang ikot niya sa sun natin is every 3,600 years. So supposedly padating na daw siya ng 2012. Hindi naman dumating. Ngayon may bagong issue naman 2029. Sabi kasi itong 2029 sabi ng NASA na mismo nagsabi mayroong padating na asteroid. Pero sabi nila malaki to pero hindi naman daw tatama sa Earth. Pero sabi ng mga conspiracy theories tatama daw to sa Earth sa 2029. So we really don't know. Pero if you're a Christian, meron kaming tinatawag na rapture.
Yep.
Yung sa sinasabi na rapture is those who believe in Jesus as their Lord and Savior, yung mga tumanggap sa Kanya, naniwala sa Kanya, will be saved. So even if you die, ang punta mo langit. Kasi ang true Christianity is not about a religion. True biblical Christianity is about a relationship with Jesus Christ. Hindi siya sets of rules na kailangan mo sundin. Hindi rin siya na kailangan ka-anib ka sa aming o sa aming religion para ma-save ka. Hindi ganun yun.
Yeah, and not to mention you need to give
sabi
money.
Lang, yeah.
That's why
sa
for me yung talaga for me especially you know, I find it weird. And at the same time, Cat is probably the most richest and powerful country ever.
Yes.
I'm not saying Rome. It's because imagine even the president of the United States and even the queen will bow down to the you know? Not to mention they're just in the city, that's it, but they're all powerful. If something happened to them, people will you know, people will take notice, people will stop, look and listen. Imagine even a leader, you know, they bow down to the totoo yun, right?
True.
They are like
kasi balak nilang gumawa ng one word religion, pag-unite nila lahat ng religion sa buong mundo. Talaga magkocontrol sa kanya. It's a good thing na meron tayong presidente, si Duterte. Kaya nabilib ako kay Duterte dahil talagang dinefy niya yung power ng dahil alam mo naman natin na napaka-powerful ng Roman Pilipinas, di ba?
Yep.
So, alam natin na yung influence nila is gano'n na lang kalakas. Kaya yung dumating si Duterte, dinefy niya yung mga oligarch, talagang sinira niya yung mga malalakas na institution dito.
Yeah,
siguro talagang
not to mention a lot of people hated it,
Pabalik na naman tayo sa ABS-CBN.
Yeah, di ba? He destroyed a lot of oligarch power. So somehow parang kumbaga kung may control sila dito, hindi naman natin masasabi na permanent yan dahil pag nawala si Duterte, wala na ulit, balikan na ulit siya.
Balik na ulit.
Pero at least for a time, nasira niya yung mga powerful institutions sa atin.
Di ba?
Kasi yung mga
meron pa naman ng kibuloy.
Kasi yung mga powerful institutions sa atin, kung merong control o grasp ang local, ang Illuminati sa atin, sila yon. Sila yung mga nagpapatupad nun.
Yeah. Actually, I always tell this joke sa Facebook. I keep saying that, even previously, I was saying that in the Philippines we have our own version of the Illuminati, which is the Aquino. The only difference is
I mean, yung Dilawan, yung LP,
the only
nasa
thing
kanila yung
I keep
control.
saying this like this. The only difference is in the Illuminati, you will still doubt like hindi naman totoo. Okay, it cannot. Totoo ba yun? Oh, come on. Pero pagdating sa Aquino, yeah, they did that shit.
Yes,
That's the only
yes,
difference.
yes.
But anyway,
Diba, I mean, madami kang video mapapanood regarding about Ninoy Aquino, paano niya in-establish yung NPA, kasama sila Joe Masison. Alam mo yun, parang tinuring siya na bayani ng Pilipinas. Pero yung pagtulong niya sa mga NPA para maitatag, wala namang purpose hanggang ngayon, tawag dito, yun yung nagpahirap lalo sa bansa natin. Actually, yung namwala nga si Marcos, lalo tayo naghirap. Mas lalong dumami yung corrupt. So
Ibang
kung
topic na
sinisisi
yun,
nila...
susunod na topic na yun.
Susunod na topic na yun.
Yes, probably one of our knowledge.
Ayoko na magsalita kasi baka mababa pa yung kwentuhan natin.
It's fine, man. It's fine. Don't worry. We're just gonna end it soon. But I want to say... This particular podcast right now, this episode is really good, and I want to have a part of you, man. Let's schedule it again.
Not only part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5.
Baka maging di na architect.
That's fine.
Baka maging alien talk na merong alien talk kasi sa YouTube.
No, don't get me wrong, man. Again, that's why every time we do this podcast, I want to say, we see to it that people will know what this podcast is all about. We are archi peeps, right? We studied architecture. We work in architecture firm. Some of us are architects, right? And majority of the person that we start to invite to hang out in this podcast are architecture people because we studied architecture. Majority of our friends and peers are in architecture, industry, right?
Yes.
But at the same time, we try to make this podcast diverse, not just architecture, but me and Mao, we really want this podcast to be like a free flow conversation and not stuck in architecture
everyday
only,
life.
Because we're people. We need to embrace life itself. So it doesn't matter if you're architecture or you're working in a hotel or you're a waiter. It doesn't matter, man. You have a story. And, it's just different from one another. And for those people who's thinking that, maybe we can learn something in this podcast in regards to taking architecture or whatever. In some ways, yes, you will learn shit. But in many ways, this podcast is like your after school podcast or after office hour podcast. So meaning after works, like I wanna because
yung free time mo ba?
Yes.
Magre-research ka, mag-YouTube ka lang.
Yes. Okay. Because this podcast is like this. The way I see it, of course, in a real architecture firm, in a real world. Architecture, being an architect or architecture job itself is probably one of the most stressful job that a person can have.
True.
You have responsibilities. You have
That's why we call it
deadlines.
architecture.
Yeah. We used to call it architecture in school. So of course, when you're, I don't know about you guys, but for me, when you're working and then you want to kill time while working and you try to be entertained. Our goal is to entertain you, to make you laugh, or to make you to give you an advice, or to give you some sort of a knowledge, which is not really maybe it's related to our course, maybe it's not. But the point is, our goal is to keep you entertained. We're not here to preach or to teach. We're just here to hang out with you. So that is our ultimate goal in this podcast. So. And then I couldn't even stretch it up even further more that Architalks, the reason why we are Architalks, we're two college buddies, architecture buddies, taking up architecture, and we are here just talking. So that's it.
Yeah.
All right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
glad to be with you guys.
Yeah, thank you for being with us, man. I'm telling you, we need to have part 2,
I
part 3,
appreciate it.
part 10. Before the end of the world, man, we need to know this shit.
End of the world na! Yoo-hoo!
Promote tayo.
Okay, before we end our podcast, I want to say that follow us on Facebook on Architalk Podcast, and follow us also on Instagram. It's Architalk Podcast, right? Is it?
Architalk.
Yeah.
Architalk Podcast, and also same with Twitter. It's the same Twitter handle. And
Architalk Pod.
What, Mau?
Architalk Pod.
Architalk Pod. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Yes, and once again, I want to
Pag
thank
nasiraan ka na ng ulo, ay katok.
like a talk, right? I want to
Like a
say
talk.
again. I want to say thank you, Barry, for joining us today's episode. Today's episode is
Yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure
Yes,
to be with you guys.
really-
Handle ni ano pre, handle ni Barry.
Oh yeah. Do you want to promote Do you want to promote something?
Wala naman. Yeah, just like my Facebook page in DLDC Architecture.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
DLDC Architecture. Yeah,
LDC Architecture. Sure.
yeah. It's on Facebook tsaka Instagram.
All right.
All right.
Good.
All right.
All right.
Okay, I want to say
See you
thank
then.
you for all the people who are listening right now. This episode is quite long, and I hope you are entertained.
The
I
end
hope
of the world.
I hope your mind is exploded and you're all in awe like me and Mao. So again, thank you guys for listening. Thank you so much.
All right.
And next episode again, guys. And we hope that we will continue to entertain you guys and maybe probably gain some sort of a knowledge and advice or whatever. But
Yeah.
this is Architalks, man. And we
Peace,
are
y'all.
out, people.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
See you then. Bye.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this clip, please hit the subscribe button, like, and share. And if you want to listen to the full episode of the podcast, just click the link in the description down below. Or you can subscribe to us to Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Radio Public, and other podcast apps. You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Just type in Architalks Podcast, and I'm sure we will pop out. All right, people, we are out. Peace!